Hello, everyone, and welcome to CMME 3200 Multimedia Investigative Journalism. I'm so excited to be teaching this class, which is why I'm so upset that I can't be there on the first day to welcome you. And some of you I've had before, so I was very happy to see that you're back for another installment. So in this particular class, of course, we're going to be doing tons of multimedia work and production, so get ready. And the first day I want to set the tone by showing all the president's men. So Verna will be in to start the video. There's also a worksheet that you will complete as you watch the video to look at some of the investigative journaling tools and techniques that they used within this particular groundbreaking case, of course, Watergate. So hopefully you will enjoy that, and I will see you on Monday when I'm back to finish any lingering questions you might have, or to discuss, of course, the film, and of course, if you have questions about the syllabus, because that's what I'm going to do now, is go over the syllabus, because that's what I would normally do the first day anyway. So let's get going with that. Okay, so let's take a look at the syllabus. So let me say right off the bat that this is going to be a quick version of my syllabus review here, because I don't want you to spend 30 minutes listening to me drone on about the syllabus, and you can also review it at your leisure. So feel free to send me any questions or any issues or concerns that you have about the syllabus. I know that it's a lot to take in, and again, I'm sorry that I can't be there, so you can ask those questions to me immediately. But please feel free to either jot them down and ask me on Monday when I return, or feel free to just send it to me via Canvas or via SU email, whatever is most convenient for you. So the basic information is there for you. This class meets every Monday, Wednesday, 3:40 to 5:45. One important thing to note is my office is now 200A. So I'm still on the second floor, but I'm now back in the suites on the other side of the Strategic Communications Center. So in that back area after you walk in. So feel free to come see me anytime. We will be doing a lot of updates and individual meetings during this class, because you will be working on your reporting, and I'm pretty sure you're going to have questions along the way, so that's just going to sort of be built into the syllabus. The goal of this class, of course, is for you to actually conduct an investigative report. And I will tell you now, you'll be doing them in twofold. That's why this is multimedia investigative journalism. So you will be writing a printed version of your investigative story, as well as doing a broadcast version of it. And guess what? I know, drum roll, you're going to be creating a investigative news magazine at the end. Oh, please forgive me with these pop-ups. Okay, sorry about that. So at the end of the class, you will be putting together a news magazine in which we will actually go to the production studio, and you will be like 2020 or Dateline, where you'll actually be sitting at the anchor desk and reporting your investigative story. Now, of course, it will be a package that you will just introduce and send, obviously, as an introduction to as like a tag is what we call it, to your package. But that will still entail you having to put all of that together, which is a process. So throughout this class, I'm going to walk you through every step in that particular process. So you can, basically I've sort of told you what the whole course is about and what you're going to be doing, but you can again read this at your leisure to kind of get a little bit more. I mean, more than anything, we're going to talk about investigative skills that you're going to need to employ in order to make sure your story is as effective and as credible and reliable as it can be. And there's so many ways, from using, documents, getting certain data that you need, getting court reports or police reports, all of those things. We'll talk about what you might need to do depending on your story, or or even to develop sources who will talk to you, all of those things, how to interview them properly. So it's a lot to cover. I will tell you, this is a big class, and let me just put this disclaimer out there right now. It's hands-on. So if you're expecting a class where I'm just going to sit and talk to you about investigative journalism, this is not the class for you, because you will be out in the field doing these things. I'll talk a little bit about them, and actually I'm bringing in 3 reporters, 2 from the Seattle Times and 1 from the local news station here, I think it's King 5, who will come in and talk about their investigative reporting techniques to give you helpful hints to help you as you do yours. So there will be quite a few guest speakers, so be ready for that as well. Okay. So moving through all of that. So basically there's only one required text, and that is the Investigative Reporter's Handbook, which I know it's sort of dated, but it's still the Bible when it comes to investigative reporting, and you need it. I still refer to it all the time when I'm working on stuff. So definitely get that book, and I will be putting other things on Canvas, but that's the only text that you will need to purchase for the class. Course expectations are pretty general, and I know those of you who've had me before, you know, you just show up, you participate, and we work together to get through these assignments. And the more active you can be in that process, the better. So what are your assignments? So you're going to have a few. So obviously your first one is watching All the President's Men and doing the worksheet. You also are then going to suggest 3 investigative stories that you think you might want to pursue. Again, you're just thinking about it. You haven't picked one yet. And then right now, let me tell you, assignment 3, which isn't due until, you know, almost mid-October, but still October 9th, which is still close. Go ahead and now start reading some investigative pieces, or even watching them on TV and seeing if you can get in touch with that reporter. I know that can be somewhat difficult, but usually you can email them or find some kind of way to get in touch with them so you can interview them about what they did and the techniques they took to go about making sure that story was effective. So start thinking about that now, because that's going to come up very soon. Then there's other assignments where you're going to actually have to go in and use court records, or go in and use the Freedom of Information Act to receive records from like the FBI, those sorts of things. So we'll talk more about those assignments as they come up. And then of course the big assignment is that you're going to be doing your project, which is your printed version of your investigative story and the broadcast version of your story to be used for the news magazine that we are creating. So that's a lot, I do know, but I know that you guys can handle it, and hopefully you'll have a lot of fun along the way. So in the grading breakdown, you'll see everything in terms of what the point values are and all the assignments. And then equipment. Those of you who've worked, you know, or had a production class before, then you know that you can get the equipment from the Media Production Center in the library, or you can get the equipment from Verna, either way. So, and sometimes a mixture of both, depending on what it is you're doing. So all that information is there. Ethics, making sure that the work is your own, that the video work you're doing is your own, making sure that you aren't using, you know, significant others or family members in your stories. You know, you want to make sure that there's no conflicts of interest going in there, so you can peruse those as well. Classroom technology policies, that's just doing class, making sure your cell phone is out of reach so it's not distracting you or someone else as well. And if you do have to take a call, I know emergencies happen, just make sure you leave the classroom for that. Attendance, deadlines. This is a journalism class. That's very important. So yes, I do know life happens. Sometimes you miss your deadlines, but that will be a significant decrease in your grade, because as a journalist, deadlines are crucial and you have to find a way to meet them, even if it's not, you know, what you would have wanted to. Many times I can remember as a journalist that I've had to turn in stories that I really wish I could have spent just 10 more minutes on, but it was credible and reliable the way that it was, and I was on the crunch, so I had to do what I could do. So you're really going to have to learn those skills. Disabilities. If you do have any sort of accommodations or you think you might need accommodations, there's the phone number for you to go to the disability service staff, or you can go see them in Loyola 100. Plagiarism policy, you know, standard, work should be your own, making sure that you're not copying anything from anyone else, whether that be video, you know, sources, quotes, etc. Making sure you've gotten them firsthand. Grading scale is all there. It's out of 1,000 points, so that's there. And then I just have a bunch of academic resources here just for you. So maybe you want some extra help with your writing, or maybe some extra help with research or learning assistance, those kinds of things. You'll find the links to all of that information there. So feel free to peruse those at your leisure as well. The Seattle U does have a well, sorry, I know I get so many emails. Seattle U also has a YouTube account that I've created called Seattle U News, so you can upload things there that you might want me to see, and it's more private. So that's something that you can use as well in case you don't have your own YouTube account. And then there's a little bit of information about me. Basically, I worked as an entertainment journalist for years, and my favorite thing in the world is TV. Those of you who know me know that I watch everything. And my research area is television, so all that's there. And then our weekly schedule. So we do have a very robust schedule. So we will be meeting pretty much the entire class time and going over everything every single week. But in a way, that's a great thing because it really gets you prepared for when you start going out on your own. So about halfway through the class, it's really going to be your time to go out and do the things that you need to do. So the first half of the class is very heavy with guest speakers and just tips, techniques on investigative reporting. And then the last half of the class is basically you out in the field actually doing the work. And then the very end of the class is us going in the studio and creating the news magazine. So that's the syllabus in a nutshell. If you have questions, either write them down and save them for me when I come back on Monday, or feel free to email me. Otherwise, I apologize again that I'm not there to see you on the first day, and I hope you enjoy watching All the President's Men. It's a great film, and I will see you when I return.